And Brother Steve Young,
And we'd like to welcome you to Community
Community
Engagement
Engagement.
on WEHA 88.7. We're looking forward to this program this evening, and we want to take a little time for, say, a little quick prayer, silent prayer, and then we'll start our show.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
And you can call in at 609-641-8870 or www.wehavegospel.com. And right now, you can see us live.
Yes, sir. Okay, first of all, I'd like to start the show off today. I have a little special announcement. I have a special person in my life, and her birthday is tomorrow. My wife, Stephanie Davenport, she turns 65 tomorrow, so I'm sorry, 63. She's going to slap me for
Oh,
saying
yeah.
that.
I'll get them for you. Don't worry.
I want to wish her a happy birthday. And
Yes. Happy birthday to her. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right,
Oh,
Mr.
yeah.
Young, I know we didn't see each other over the holidays, man. You know, how was your holiday, everyone? And, you know, what did you
Well,
do?
it was a day.
Yes.
But mostly, being with family, is a good thing for everybody,
Yes.
and it shouldn't take a holiday to do that.
Yes.
I mean, we need to hug each other while we can, even when we see each other, or call somebody,
Yes.
So, I really don't like getting into holidays too much because, it should be every day.
Yes.
You should be thankful,
Yes.
for the little things. And it's always somebody. Always a have and have nots. Some people them haves, they got too much.
Yes.
And the have nots don't have none
Don't
at
have
all.
enough.
So we got to balance that off. Some people eating turkeys and other people trying to find a
Trying to
turkey.
find some bread.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Well, it's funny because my job I work in, I deal with a lot of kids, and I see a lot of children that you can tell their home life is a little sketchy. So, you have to be thankful for what you have, and you have to appreciate your family on it. Like you said, every day. It shouldn't be just one special day.
Right. And this year was really different for a lot of people because at the beginning of November, nobody knew they was going to have a EBT or food stamp to buy a turkey.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so we have a caller. Caller, you're on the air.
Good evening.
Good
Good
evening.
evening.
I was called to ask Mr. Davenport about promotions with the Pleasantville police officers.
Yes.
Two of us was talking, and we heard that there was an officer that didn't get promoted and should have been because of his military background. How does that work?
Well, caller, as I recollect, I know I was on the council when that happened, and it was a situation where we had two police officers, and one of them was from Pleasantville, good brother, military background, and the other officer was someone that wasn't from the community, had been here for a short time, and for some reason, the administration wanted to promote the latter. When the first brother that was from Pleasantville had military background, no sketches on his record, and I tried to fight for the brother. He was about to retire. He was at 25 years in the police department. Put in his work, and we tried to fight for him, but they kept coming up with excuses, and it kind of threw me off as a councilman and as a black man from the community of Pleasantville. And I'm trying to figure out how come we didn't promote our own from within. And when you have a young man that's been here and has not a scratch on his record, and the other officer did have some things going on, he was suspended, and I thought because of that, not only because of that, but because of the brother had military background, they used the fact that he didn't score as high on the tests, which honestly shouldn't have came into play.
Well, let me ask you a couple of questions on that. One is, I don't know if this is any type of legal issue that's going on, because if so, we got to be very careful what we say. The other thing is that veterans always have first preferences when it comes to employment,
Yes.
housing, you name it. So if someone served for this country, they have first preference. Because my father was,
Yes.
served,
Yes.
and he had first preference when it came to employment. and that's not something that that affirmative action like type of thing.
Yes.
It's because they served
Yes,
and
yes.
and they put their lives on the front line for this country, and they deserve to be first to be served or for employment and so forth. So that's just like a mandate. So I'm just curious how would one supersede the really a federal mandate?
Well,
like
it was
that.
funny because I was new at the time, so not really knowing how things worked and watching the system at that time just promote who they want. You know what I mean? We even went through some things, being that you called in, caller, and asked that question. It was some things like that went on in the fire department. We had some serious racial things that went on there, and the people that performed those racial things
And
were
the
promoted.
city yard too.
So it was not some things went on that just didn't sit right with, community.
So being that you were there before, and what is the solution to moving forward so that won't happen again?
I think having honest leadership, having someone in there that's pushing for the people in the community that grew up there. A lot of the officers that are there, they know me, and I treat them all with respect. I love them all, but still in all, I am that person that wants to make sure that Pleasantville residents get first, chances for employment. Fire department, police department, it should reflect more of the community, and right now it doesn't. And that was one of the things that didn't sit well with me. And I think that's just making sure we have more people from Pleasantville there, or from the community that's going to look out for, the people that have grown up here and was raised here and have given to the community.
And we had a similar situation in Lang City, where there's a black lieutenant, and he was moving up to be chief.
Yes.
Took the test and was recommended by the lieutenant governor, and they decided to give it to another person.
Yes.
And this person this African American black man, he was very qualified.
Yes.
I mean, overqualified and a veteran. And so we experienced that, now on that issue is discrimination outright. But if the state is running the city, then who do you go to,
Yes.
to actually have
Yes.
that problem? But eventually, things manifest itself through these things going on. So,
Yes.
but we got to be more active, and we got to be more engaged as a community, because if the community don't know, how can they assist you? How can they speak up on it?
Yes. Well, caller, I want to thank you for the call. Do you have anything else that you want to say?
Yes, I do. Thank you for answering that. I want to know who's in charge of Pleasantville Recreations. To my understanding, Miss Pamela.
I think she is the chair of that committee right now, and as you know, I'm not on this council, and haven't had too much interaction with them. But I think Ms. Fomalaro is the chair of that committee. So if you wanted to have some questions asked, that's who you would probably.
So being that people are listening, we're being charged $100 for the travel team this year. We have one gym to practice in, varsity on one end, JV on the other. When we have other schools in our area, Washington Avenue, Leeds Avenue, North Main, South Main, why can't somebody open up a gym for these kids to practice?
Well, caller,
that's my question.
Thank you, and thanks for that question. And that's a good question, and that's something that I fought for quite a long time, to have these gyms open for our children in the community. And why the gym should be sitting dormant at night, really it doesn't make any sense. So I think that's where the city council and your government, city government, and the school board and the school district have to come together and make sure that these things are available for our children. And that's why they have to interact a little bit more with each other.
Right.
So.
And my answer to that, and thank you, caller, because when you talk about children, that's a high end.
Yes.
That should definitely be a priority. And one thing that we have people that's in position that have committee meetings. And when they have these committee meetings, sometimes they should be inviting the public. This is no private entity when you're dealing with public funds. So it should be open where you can come and bring the children to speak about the needs that needs to be done in the community. And whoever the chairperson of any of these committees, whether it's on the education side or the city side, recreation, they should be listening to the people that's affected the most. And that's mostly our children and the parents that's in the community. And this is what community engagement is all about.
Yes.
Holding them accountable and bringing solutions to an issue.
Yes.
And if they don't know, they can say they didn't know, but if you go to a committee meeting and they taking notes of the meeting, then they know about it. Now, what you gonna do about it? So I just, suggest, recommend that, my activist hat is that you request to go to one of those committee meetings. And if they say no, please call us and let us know. Because it's not no private entity. It's not no private meetings that should be held when you're dealing with public funds.
Yes.
So, and if they got a problem like that, like I said, they can call us out. But thank you very much, Carla, for being engaged.
Yes, so thank you, and please
Thank you.
leave your, I need to get your number so that we can talk about this here further, okay? Because that's something that I think we have to address. Is there any more callers coming on? No. Okay, well, thank you very much.
Yeah, these issues, if we don't stand up for our youth,
Yes.
I mean, and I say that very, being 65 years old, and, as we get older, we must realize somebody may have to take care of us.
Yes.
I don't want nobody taking care of me that I didn't treat right or didn't stand up for, and because if you think they're going to treat you right, you got another thing coming.
Yes,
Matter of fact, this may be payback time, the way you treated me, and where you didn't stand up for me or speak out on behalf of me
And
when I was a young.
It's funny that you say that because when I was on city council, one thing I tried to do was once a month. We had 2 meetings a month. So once a month, I would get the test scores or something that was happening in the school district, and I would, say it at the council meeting. And I think that's something that needs to be going on,
Consistent.
It should be a part of the meeting.
Sure.
It should be part of it because, the city government and the school board have to work together because especially what's going on nowadays with our low test scores and certain things that are happening within the school district. Right. It's time for the city of Pleasantville to get involved with that and, show the kids that you care.
And one way to do that is, when they have these meetings, whether it's Board of Education or city,
Yes.
They should have the youth at the table beside them,
Yes.
and the youth should be able to be engaged with what's going on in the meeting. In other words, they should see the agenda.
Yes.
There should be a period where they can 5 or 10 minutes where they can respond to what's going on the agenda and before the public. And that's because that's another vision, another someone else's decision of how they feel about an issue because we don't know it all.
And it's affecting them personally.
Yeah, they out there. They know firsthand.
Yes.
They out there.
Yes.
They got boots on the ground.
Yeah.
We driving by. We doing drive-bys. They got boots on the ground. So they suffering. They got to go through the community with all this crime and everything that's going on. Our children got to walk through and go every day, and they're not afraid. Because they go to school and they're used to it. It's you come numb to it almost.
And it's a shame that we say that, but the truth is the truth. They get used to that and it becomes second nature. That's not good. And it's funny that here we're talking about the youth, and I think it's one thing that sometimes we forget to address because honestly, it's us. We're in that middle stage where we have to look out for them, and also we have to look out for the elderly. And I had a couple seniors that have called. It's funny, I said seniors, and I am a senior now.
Right.
I think I qualify.
I didn't know you was a senior, man.
I'm 65.
Oh, don't make you no senior, man. They being 80 now, man, and walking the street. What are you talking about?
But
You'll be there before you know it.
We need to start addressing some of the
Sure.
issues that are going on with them also because it's amazing when I go to Walmart or to a store and I see a bus from Atlantic City with all the seniors out here and they're taking them shopping and taking them different things, or to Philly and New York for events, and those are some of the things that it seems like Pleasantville is missing out on. And, the seniors need to be addressed also.
Yeah, and when you like boots on the ground and you hear what they say,
Yes.
they want to go to that corner store They want to go to that supermarket. They want to go get their prescription and to the drugstore, but they're not there.
Yes.
Why is it not there? Something that keeps them alive. I can't get my medicine. I used to be able to walk to Walgreens or CVS in Atlantic City, right down the street from the senior buildings. They're gone.
Yes.
So where do you go to get your medicine? How can you take away something that's going to keep me alive? This senior's going through that, and then the traffic. And the bumps on the road, so the ones that have the wheelchair, they have flat tires with wheelchairs these days. They get stuck in the middle of the street. It's real talk.
Yeah, especially
Seniors.
in Atlantic City.
Yeah,
I
man,
thought
it's terrible.
Roads were bad, but
Yeah.
seeing some of that over there.
But even our children and with our youth and our growing and our health and our culture, not having a supermarket is a dangerous. A food desert. All this water, and we got a food desert. We living in a food desert. That should never be. Third world countries, at least some of them have. You can get a multitude of food fresh,
Yes.
right from going to the market.
But what's funny is that it's only Pleasantville and Atlantic City. So that's like kind of alarming.
Alarming.
It's kind of alarming.
It's designed because most of them, the black communities.
Yes.
And it's like we were left out. We don't care.
Of the basics.
Yeah, the basics of life.
Yes.
So we got to change these things. And what's the solution? Y'all call in 609-641-8870. But the one main thing that we got to do is people got to stop being afraid. And you got to have faith, that things going to change. But it's not going to change by you just looking at it.
Yeah.
It's not going to change by you just reading about it.
It's hard to have faith with what we see going on, not only here in Pleasantville, but nationally. When you see what the leaders are doing, so-called leaders, man, it's scary. It really is. It's scary. The constant lying and manipulation. It's not it's not a good look.
No, and the party politics and everything's ruling our lives. And wherever you go, and if you say you don't get involved with politics or it don't affect you, just look at the prices at the store, the gas station. Someone controls that. And, when it comes to the food, USDA, whether it's approved or not, different things like that, building of homes and housing. Everywhere you turn, government is affecting us.
Yes.
And it's not working. It's not working. And it's really time to change it.
It's funny, me and my wife went to the store the other day, amongst other things, my wife likes her coffee. I like mine in the morning. And we went to get a thing of coffee the other day, and we looked, and it went from $12 up to $19. I was like, and this was in a matter of a week or two. It's like, how does that happen? It's just crazy. But, they try to use these tariffs and stuff as an excuse, but it's all by design.
Yeah. And when you see prices go up like that, it's time for that stimulus.
Yeah.
We need some stimulation in our community.
Stop drinking coffee.
or that, But in order for us to really survive right now, it used to be a time that, young people say $17 and $18 an hour. You would think that you can make it,
Yes.
But with the wages, it didn't increase like the prices did.
Yes.
And now it's trying to catch up. So when you hear young people say, well, I'm not going to, $15 an hour, I'm not working for that. Because they know what they have to pay for. And their style of living now is more expensive than what it was when we was growing up.
We would work, $4 or $6 an hour.
Hey, happy with it.
It was happy. You could buy things.
Right.
You could get your paycheck and go buy you some jeans and sneakers at the end of the week. Now it's not going to work.
Yeah, no, it's not going to work. And that's why we got to create our own businesses. And now, therefore, we don't have to rely on the government to sustain our communities.
Yes.
We sustain them ourselves. And we got to get back to that.
Yes.
And it's definitely missing.
Well, it's so funny when you say something about sustaining our own community. I think that's up to us as leaders, especially when you're in government, to make sure that you promote your own, promote from within. And when I say promote that, when you have black individuals that want to come in here and set up businesses and things of that nature, the city officials should not give them a hard time. You know, and it's funny that we led into that because I had forgotten all about this, but it's something that needs to be addressed. When you look at the situation at the old high school field, and this is something that really bothers me because, you know, I watched them sell this property to someone that doesn't look like us for $250,000. And this individual ended up holding it for a few years and ended up selling it for $2.2 million. So what type of business mind would do that? And when I heard it, you know, I fought against it. I, you know, argued against it. I thought it was a bad idea. I thought something wasn't right with the whole, you know, business dealing of that. It just didn't make any sense to me. And then to watch that person hold on to it. And this guy is not from here, not from us, doesn't look like us. But he was able to hold on to this property, get it for pennies on the dollar, waterfront property, and then sell it for $2-point-some million, man. Like, how does that happen in our community? How do you let something like that slip through your hands, or did you just give it away? So that question needs to be asked, okay? And I also have another gentleman here. This brother, he's from East Africa, love him to death. And this guy has bought properties, and what he does is he puts people that cannot, you know, get an apartment through the regular way. Like, their credit might not be right, but, you know, they look like us, and he fixes these places up and puts our people in them, left and right. And I've watched him do it. And for some reason, the city of Pleasantville continues to give this man a hard time. You know, he has some property right now that they will not let him open up. He's done everything that was asked to do, and still in all, they give him a hard time. But someone else can come in here and basically do what they want, walk all over us, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's something that needs to change, you know.
Well, you know, I'm glad you mentioned that because we were able to put together some teams and partners. So to deal with bonding, to deal with issues like that if they were to come.
Yes.
And we haven't really came out and say what we're doing with it, but it's working in other cities.
Yes.
You know, Burlington, Jersey City, you know, it's starting to work. Because what happened was the disparity study from the state of New Jersey showed the discrimination when it comes to businesses.
Yes.
Especially with black businesses.
Yes.
And we're trying to let everybody know we had different people that looked like us, but didn't have the spirit of us and the future of us at the table, and allowed all these monies to be spent to different developers and everything else, but not with us for at least 8 years under the administration that's getting ready to live. And this is fact. This is not nothing that you're making up. And when you have a disparity study, the whole purpose of a disparity study is for you to change what's been going on, and mainly through a lawsuit.
Yes.
It's usually a lawsuit because you have your numbers now. Who can argue with it? Disparity study, we did it, get it in court, make something happen.
Yes.
And I don't see us as a community doing that just yet, but it's justified. But it's justified.
It's a shame that we have to go through that because, you know, why do we want to fight against our own, you know, especially when they're proving that they have our best interests at heart. But for some reason, I don't know whether it's jealousy or just ignorance.
Oh, you know what it is. but they got to understand, see, the only form of reparations is for us to show the numbers ain't fair and for us to get our numbers. What's wrong with being fair? Because after all, most of it, like you said, is taxpayers' money. People that's paying taxes.
Yes.
And the poor pay more taxes than the rich. And yet we giving them more money?
Exactly.
And so something's wrong with that system of payment.
And people look at that and they say, well, they're paying this and you're paying that. No, it's the averages when you look at it that way, you know.
And people then they say you're looking for a handout. Yeah, I want to hand my money back to me. Give me my money back. You know, just give me my money back. Just be fair. You know, so that's very key. But I seen that what happened in that property.
Yes.
Because I seen it. We came out here.
Yes.
And went to the council meeting. I don't know if you were there or not. And we seen this developer wanted a tax abatement 30 years and 20 years.
Yes.
And the community, you know, got together and we said no. You know, why should we give it to you?
Yes.
You know, like that. And they bring it down because of the pressure from the community and exposure.
Well, you know
that they bring it down to 20 years
what's so funny?
and then 15.
You know what's so funny is that guy because I was there at that time.
Okay.
That guy, he's got the property up for sale right now.
Right.
So you understand what I'm saying? So these people really don't care about our community. You know, we have another company over here that, you know, has one business there, and now they just put a look like a recycling station over there on Washington Avenue. Okay. This guy has ponds there that's supposed to be fenced in, and it's been like this for years. Like, you look at every other business around here. If you have a retention pond, it's got to be fenced in because it's safety issue, right? This individual has not put a fence up around the safety pond, and our city officials haven't gone over there and fined this man. And this has been, I was on council for 6 years. It's been the whole time. No fence around his retention pond. So when you watch people from outside of the community just get away with whatever they want, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth, you know. Right. So when are we going to hold people accountable, not just our own people? You know, if you're going to do it to me, you have to make sure, like, what'd you say that word? Fair. Make it fair.
And you know, you hit a point because if it's not fair, that's when you see people not falling into the system and wanting to do something else, so that they can be recognized that they've been mistreated. See, and people used to wonder why Dr. Martin Luther King and them, they marched and they boycotted and different things. They said we wasn't being treated fairly. And the only way we can show that we're not being fair is we got to speak up. We got to get in the street, and the boots on the ground. But then you have some that been in the comfort zone and say, look, don't disturb me. I'm getting that check every week. Don't disturb it. You know what I mean? And what happened? It ends up being disturbed anyway. Then where you gonna go? All the people that mostly in the comfort zone and think they got a guaranteed job. Washington has showed you ain't nothing federal, nothing state, and it's a trickle-down effect. If they lay off in Washington, they're going to lay off in the state. If they lay off in the state, the county. If they're going to lay off the city. Yes. So you ain't got nothing guaranteed. You might have had it for the last 4 years or 8 years, but that thing is like over. So if you didn't do something to sustain yourself, and the best way to sustain yourself, it helps sustain your community.
You're lost, yes.
Because if the community has it, it's still circulating there.
There you go.
You don't have a loss if you kept the dollar there. If you kept the dollar in the community, you don't have a loss because the money's still there. But if you let them take it out, this is what you end up with.
You know, you have UEZ money here, and I haven't seen one black businesses open up from that UEZ money yet. I mean, come on. You know, it's been a lot going on. There's a lot that I know. I can't say everything. But it's been some shady
I'm going to be the devil's advocate with you. What took you so long to say something?
Hey,
this is something that's hurting our black community, our future, and our children.
Yes.
That needs to be said, and it has to continue to be said.
Not one black business opened up from that money.
That's insane.
And that's something that we need to change. Like, it seems like our people think it's something wrong when you want to speak up for your own, you know. And I watched, and hey, God bless them. You watch every other nationality, they speak up for their own, and that's what you're supposed to do. Yeah. You know, so when do we think it's okay? Why are we brainwashed to think that if I look out for you, there's a problem? You know, I don't get that. I don't get it.
Well, I think we're the majority. But we need the airways. Thank God for WEHA and the Hawks family, because we need that outlet to bring about the truth, the power, and to train people and show them how you can get engaged without hurting anybody. Yes. And if the only thing that's hurting is the truth, you know, the falsehood is the only thing hurting. Yeah. You know, and when truth comes, falsehood vanishes away. So we got to continue to tell the truth. Yes. So we need 10 hours of radio.
No, we need more than that, because me and you can go. Hey, let's take a quick break.
And call us 609-641-8870. We missed a call earlier. You're welcome to call back. And again, watch us live, www.wehavegospel.com. And you on live with Tony Davenport, Brother Steve Young, in Community Engagement. We'll be right back.
Hawks Janitorial Contractors Corp. was established in 1987 by husband and wife team William and Elaine Hawks. Our motto is a great job at a fair price. The Hawks team is skillful, customer-focused, delivering quality janitorial services that meet and exceed our clients' specific needs. Hawks Janitorial Contractors Corp., proud sponsors of Gospel 88.7 FM. For more information, 609-484-0452.
WEHA, spreading the gospel. One song at a time, said WEHA, spreading the gospel. One song at a time, said WEHA, spreading the gospel. One song at a time, said WEHA, spreading the gospel. One song at a time. 88.7 FM, 100.3 FM. We have gospel.com and all social media.
Gospel 88.7 WEHA. It's more than music. It's ministry.
Hi, this is Kristen.
Hi, this is Renee.
Hi, this is Super Steph. Hey, it's me, Professor J.
This is Rose.
Hi, this is Tawana Davis.
Hi, this is Thelma Witherspoon.
Hey, this is Sister Girl.
Hi, this is Tehran.
Hi, this is Evangelist Lanielle.
Hey, this is Chris.
Hi, this is Del Rita Hawks.
Hi, I'm Christine Hawks Washington.
Hey, this is Lady Praise.
Hi, I'm El Presidente. Wishing you a very Merry Christmas and a blessed New Year from all of us here at Gospel 88.7 FM WEHA.
Hawks, a name that has been trusted for almost 30 years in the janitorial services industry, is proud to present Hawks Professional Moving Services, fully insured, local and long distance, packing services, commercial and residential, no job too small or too large, friendly and reliable services. For more information or a free estimate, 609-484-0452. Hawks Professional Moving Services, where we treat your belongings like our own.
You are listening to Christ-centered, community-focused, listener-supported gospel. 88.
Welcome back to Community Engagement with Tony Davenport and Brother Steve Young.
Yes, sir.
And you can call us at 609-641-8870. And while we was on break, we were talking about, I was a little late today because I was coming from prison. No, I wasn't locked up, everybody. I know what you're thinking. What did he do next? We was there because it's called Meet 'em at the Gate. And the brothers are coming home. Most of them done 30 years, 40 years. One had 50 years. And it's nothing like family being there and brothers that they've been incarcerated with 20 and 30 years. And they come in, and they didn't forget them. And they come to that gate when they're being released together. And all together, we must have had at least close to almost 1,000 years of brothers being incarcerated. They came home. If you add up all the times that they've been there, they've been there. It's over 1,000. So one thing, I bring up this because family. We just had Thanksgiving, and family is very key. But don't forget your loved ones that's inside. Because some of them inside was innocent because of a system that do not work. Mm-hmm. So you can't paint a brush on everybody that's inside that they're criminal. And then the system, the way it works, and especially county jail, we need to talk about that too. And we need to, because the county jail sometimes is overcrowded. The commissary is very high. That's coming from, and you have to have these digital tablets now in order to talk to someone on it. And what happened is, who's paying for that? The mothers, the fathers, the grandparents, the wives. The community do time with brothers that's inside. And a lot of money that comes from our community is going into a system that does not work because there's no type of rehabilitation. It used to be a time when they had type of wood shop and different things, they can build up and inside there. The county, most of them that's in the county jail haven't even been to court yet.
You're just sitting there.
Just sitting there, and they got to pay rent for being there. Now, who's paying the rent? $35 to $50 a month. I think it's a week. And if you come in there with $1,000, they trickling it down out your pocket, out your family's pocket. So these type of things people may not know about, but it affects our community too. Because anytime you pull in dollars out of our community, and who's the most of them that work there? They don't live in our communities. So therefore, it's affecting, the money is still circulating going down our community.
Well,
but it was a good thing, though. I want to conclude with this. It was a good thing for them to see them brothers again. Yes. And I was fortunate enough to go in there with lifers. Now, one thing I tell everybody about lifers, when I went to, I think it was Trenton State, walked up in there, and the guards, they stopped. I said, why y'all stop? Y'all not going in with me? He said, no, we're not. I said, why you not going in? He said, because they lifer. They could kill me and I'll never get out. And I had to think about it. Yes. You know what I mean? If you got that mindset of fearing them, that's what you're going to get. But you know, when I was sincere, when I went in there, the brothers trusted me. And when they got out, they remembered me. And I still remember them. Yes. And you know, I can remember, you know, some of them, Tone Henshaw, you got a Born Understanding, and my good brother just came home today. You know, I want to give him a big shout out because Black Thought, that's what we call him, Black Thought, man. The brother, he's going to really change the world when he get out here because he's been in there almost since he's been a teenager. And now, almost 35 years inside, and he was studying and fighting his case every day.
Trying to get out.
Yeah. So some of the brothers, you know, they got clemency, and some of them they just, you know, their time was out, but they're here.
So
and
when you get clemency, that means you're innocent.
Right? and what happened? Some of them on parole, for lifetime parole, and some of them got 5 years parole, even after they did all that time. So when they get in the world, a different world now than it was in 1980. This is entirely different with the cell phones, the electronics, and different things like that. They have to readjust. And, you know, reading the book is what they did the most. But I want to say this about them. One thing I learned from them, they were family. Because they spent more time with each other inside the cell than they do with the families that's been out. Yes. And we barely spent an hour, and we free with each other as a family. But they was inside, and they was able to build each other up inside for 20 or 30 years. You be with somebody 20, 30 years, you family. You know them. So I just want to say that.
You know what's crazy, though? You were talking about the financial aspect that, the hurt on the community. The main thing is, when you're taking the men out of our community, and that's what they're doing. So you're taking that strong man out of the family, out of the community, and it's not only hurting that family now, it hurts the community itself as a whole. Because we've lost a lot of leaders to prison. Not only to the bullet, but to prisons.
Yes.
And it affects us as a people, man. And then you look at the situation where who's benefiting from this?
Right.
Right? So that's what you look at. Who's benefiting from it?
Yeah.
And, they're privatizing prisons. They're building them all over the place now. This president and, a couple of them, they're all invested in that. Yeah. So, they're looking forward to seeing us up in there.
Especially our young people, because
it's a business.
They going in early.
It's a business.
They still continue to go in early. And when they be incarcerated, sometimes they don't have nobody. I mean, they understand what they're going through and whatnot. Yes. And when you don't have nobody and you consistently waiting to go to court for a whole year, you're going to make a plea. You don't know what you're doing. And then they say, well, he made the plea. Well, he was the number 15 years old. The parents don't have no say-so. And that type of thing hurts.
Kids are so brainwashed by TV and stuff, they think this stuff is cool until they get there and then they realize that, this is life.
But the system itself, like you said, they spending all this money to incarcerate them, but you won't give them an opportunity to have a job, to get a trade? Something wrong with that system. Years of generations of the same thing. Just lock them up, lock them up, lock them up. We had so many youth locked up in Atlantic County that they're not even giving the numbers. When I say locked up, I mean actually arrested but they say crime down. How can crime down and our jails are overcrowded with our young people? How? Did you tell me they was arrested for something? Even if it was accusation, they was arrested. That's part of the record, and it don't go away, young people. It do not. That's why they call it a record. It's a recording that stays there. It don't go away because you turn 18. They can pull it up whenever they want. I've seen it happen. Been in court and seen it happen. I said, and the young people are like, they can't do that, can they? I said, they just did. And the lawyers sit there and say, so this is reality. But like I said, if it's not working, then give the money to organizations or different people that needs the resources to keep them out of jail.
And you know what's funny is that's where the community has to be more diligent and going out and looking for that money. You know what I mean? Stop being passive and sitting and not doing anything. Right. You know, that's one of the pet peeves I have with government, with Pleasantville. You know, where we sit too much. You know, you're comfortable where you're at instead of looking to make it better for that next person. You might have it good, but what about that person? Right. You know, it's all about me, and that's not a good recipe for success, man. As a people, it's not a good recipe. And you see it too much. You know, I've watched it when I've talked to people and said, well, listen, why don't we do this and that? And they look at you like you're crazy, you know. Why not take a trip up to Newark or different places where you see brothers striving and doing things and building the community? You know, that was one of the things that drew me to Ras Baraka and those brothers up there, because you look at Newark right now, they're doing some stuff. You know, things are moving.
Yeah, and I thought that as well until I seen this lady at the city council meeting in Newark. And her name, she called herself New Jersey Hellraiser. Outright introduced herself. I'm New Jersey Hellraiser, and this is what y'all not doing right, and you partying and playing while people stealing. I mean, she laid it out. Seemed like she was in Atlantic City. And this just happened at one of the last council meetings in Newark. So we don't hear from the people that's being affected the most. We hear from the ones that's actually, you know, duplicating what we have, which is nothing. And we got to be careful with that, even with leadership.
Yes.
And I challenge that.
Yes.
If you're just doing lip service and not doing the work, an example.
But there is work being done.
Yeah. Oh yeah, plenty of work. Because I'm example. I was getting ready to say that. Example is Newark.
Yes.
Trenton.
Yes.
Camden. We did like community engagement with different brothers that just came home, right? They used their skills working with our young people. So we took some youth from Atlantic City and went to Trenton. And when we got on the streets with the youth said, I'm not going around that corner. I can't go around there. Those gang territory. And our youth was like, we ain't scared of nothing. We don't know, because you don't know the territory. So the youth there was able to engage and walk with them. And and the same thing when we bring them to Atlantic City.
Yes.
You know, the ones in Atlantic City say, I'm not going back around. I can't go there. But the ones from Trenton are saying, no, let's go. We want to see what it's all about.
Yes.
So when they engage together, it releases the fear. So there's ways, but you got to have resources for that. You got to traveling, feeding them, you know, different things like that.
You have to go in there with the right attitude.
You got to go in there.
I mean, that's the whole thing.
You're right.
It's how you approach something.
You're right.
It's amazing. As a ball player and as a young man, I can remember going to Atlantic City, going up to New York and different places. Right. You know, hey, I watched people that were with me, you know, shaking in their boots. But, you know, sometimes you got to go in there just like you one of them and handle your business, you know. You have to be respectful, but you have to get respect. Yes. You know what I mean? So it's all about being respectful, man. That's why, you know, I use that sports analogy a lot.
Yes.
You know, I can remember me and my wife, when I moved up to New York with her. We hit in the park, right? We go to the park, you know, nice park where you got some serious competition. And, you know, jokers looked at me.
Right.
You know, but, you know, I'm looking, I held my own.
Yeah.
Next day I come back, hey, man, we want him, we want you. You know what I'm saying? So you can go and you can be a part of something,
right?
You know.
Right.
You just have to, you know, step out there and be one of them. You know what I mean? You have to be one of them.
And that's a true example, man, what you went through.
Yes.
It's still going on today.
Yes.
And these young people don't have, like you said, they got to have someone that's sincere.
Yes.
And credible to be with them. Not credible because they got the person that's with them got a job and they making money, but because you care and you love yourself and you love your community.
And you love the community. Let me tell you another example. I went to Brownsville. Now, you know, that's Mike Tyson and them. That's some serious issues, right? So I'm in there, and I get the kids together, man. So I'm there for about a week. So I'm thinking I'm part of the community. Like, hey, man, I ain't got to leave right now, and I can stay here, you know, so-and-so, so-and-so. It was about 5 o'clock. Look, these young kids looked at me and say, hey, Mr. Davenport, you got to get out of here. You go get on the train, get up out of here. So there's a bunch so far.
What's getting ready to happen, right?
You know, you can't be here after dark. Right. So, you know, but what it made me understand was that I was doing something right because the kids appreciated me. Right. And they didn't want nothing to happen to me. And they was like, hey, man, you got to go.
That's good.
You
That's
need to
caring.
get out of here.
That's
but,
caring.
you know, it was amazing, like you said, going to different places like that and making things happen, you know, with your own people, you know. Instead of being scared of them and acting like, you know, you can't do it. You can't be like that, man. And that's why we got to look out for each other, man. It's
but that's all we got.
That's it.
We all we got.
That's it.
And we got to realize that. Even the ones that you know, that having issues with us.
Yes. Yes.
Let's sit down and talk about it.
Yes.
I guarantee you the problem or the jealous or envy or what somebody told you is not the truth, but get it straight from me.
You know
what I mean?
Steve, me and my wife went Sunday over to Sovereign Avenue School.
Right.
And these Muslim brothers came from North Jersey, and they had truckloads of food, clothes, gloves, you know, houseware, mops, things, anything for your house. Like, they had the whole gymnasium full. And these Muslim brothers gave out everything. And when I got in there, we sat down and talked. Brother's name is Hani.
Oh, yeah, that's my brother.
Hani,
yes.
man, he took me in there. And so now, you know, to see these brothers do what they did, and had a good conversation with them. We're going to try to bring this to Pleasantville.
Well, so, he does a food pantry in Woodland,
yes.
and faithfully and consistently.
Yes.
That's the word, the consistent part. So to see him do things like
yes.
that, and with little resources he
yes.
have.
And you know, he also gives halal meat out at Washington Avenue at the Muslim cemetery right there. There's a building back there.
Yep.
I've got to remember the day. I think it was a Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday.
It was a Saturday. Yeah, so I think it's every other Saturday he does it. But, you know, those are the things we got to do for each other, man. You know, we got to fight. We got to fight, man. Got to fight for each other. Because right now, with the way our country's going, you know, it seems to be not in our favor.
It seems to be any day now.
Yes.
Just being truthful about it. We need to be praying every second because it's any day now.
We need to wake up, man, because this is serious times.
Yeah, it is.
You know?
It is. And it's no more time for sport and play.
No.
I think that's you need to put it away now.
Yeah.
It's time
to
build up your. You got to build up your community because what happened is the children are in the community more than adults, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if something go down, who you gonna go to but the children?
Yes.
Because you're not gonna know no direction where nothing's at.
Yes.
So we need to be there now, getting ready for anything that may occur in our communities.
Yes.
And that's why we got to treat them right where they at. We got to go where they at, and sometimes hug them and tell them we love them.
Yes.
Adults, we don't do that.
Nope.
How many teachers you think to say that to a child? Lawyers, doctors, physicians, you name them. They drive by, take the money, work. If it wasn't for our children, they wouldn't be making a dime. They work, make the money, and they go.
And they go. You know what's so funny is I worked there. I worked in the school system. And I used to watch the teachers hitting the parking lot before the kids got out the door, man. And it was like not a good thing to see, man.
You can go to every school right now, and you'll see it.
Yes. Yes, I think
just like a construction site. Oh, the number 609-641-8870. That's 609-641-8870. You can call us now. You with Tony Davenport and Brother Steve Young, community engagement. Yeah. You're right about that, man. Things got to change.
Yes. And it's up to us to, do it ourselves, man.
But we got to get some people out of our way, man. First, I'm just being truthful with you. Some people just got to they got to go. They need to just go to the side. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, it's because some people feel like what they're doing wrong is right.
Yes.
They really do. And
because they've been doing it so long.
Right.
You know what I mean? And no one said anything.
Right.
I think that's the whole thing. Like sometimes you got to pull that rug out from under them, man.
You have to.
You have to, bro.
I don't see no other way. I ain't sure 'cause I've been here 65 years. The only way is just going to have to happen that way.
And like I said, that situation down at the waterfront, that's an issue, man. That's $2 million, man. You know what we could have done with that in our community? Like, do you understand what you just threw away? Right? And then you have another entity down there right on the water that you can't even walk in there and sit down and have a drink or go to the bathroom.
Yeah. I remember you mentioned that to me, and I'm waiting to go down there. When you ready?
Yes, whenever
I want to go right up in there.
I already
wait.
And
I got some friends that want to visit.
It has to stop.
Because
we have to have some pride or some self-respect.
It's 2025. Ain't no white person gonna tell me I can't go into an establishment. He's serving other white people and can't serve nobody black. Walking in.
Is this here? It's the brother that owns this station, Mr. Hawks, right?
Right.
He had a boat down there, and me and him talked. He called me all the time. Tony, what I need to do? I'm gonna put my boat in the water. This and that. Made sure he had a boat slip. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you didn't see none of them paying to put their boats in our boat slips in Pleasantville. But that brother he wanted to put his boat in Pleasantville, and he did it. So. Those are the type of things, man, that you see happening. Him and his wife, man, they do so much. They just do so much for their people.
Well, you have one of the greatest potential waterfronts.
Yes.
On the East Coast.
Yes.
If from our planning skills, if it's properly developed, it will be one of the best on the East Coast. I seen it. I researched it. And I'm telling you, I didn't know when to bring it out, but the potential for that waterfront, if properly done right, and it don't have to be done by a developer all the time.
Hey, who's the brother?
It can be.
What's his name?
Who's that?
That passed. The OJs, the main singer.
I don't know. You tip of my tongue.
Well, his son, he came down here and sat with me. We went down there and talked, and they had a plan where they wanted to develop that area. But
what happened? Well, let's bring it back. Listen, man.
You see what I'm saying? So we have to sometimes trust in our own instead of trusting in outsiders, man. Yeah. We have to trust in those that look like us, man.
And that's why a lot of people, especially people that have money, just black and look like us, they be chased away.
Yes.
They say, I ain't got to go through this. I ain't going to kiss your ring to do this. I'm not going to do it. And I'm not going to be jumping the hoop. I don't have to do that in New York. I don't have to do that down south. Why am I going to have to do it here? And they say, look, I'm not coming there again. And they pass the word. Look, you don't want to go there.
Hey, man,
experience.
I had a young brother right down here, right in City Hall. We already had contract ready to go. Things was right there to the end. And this was a young black man, vice president of a multi-billion-dollar company. And all he wanted to do was put his stamp in Pleasantville.
Wow.
And I watched our people come out there and cuss at him, make him feel bad. And the brother was like, you know what, Tone, I can't deal with this no more. He said, they don't want it. Wow. I'm fine with it. And through the whole contract that we put together, just so it's known, it was all Pleasantville first. All the hiring was done from within, and then once the positions was filled, it was anything left, then he was going to go outside. This was all in the contract. I sat there with it. And he was young. He was a young brother, man.
See, that's what I don't understand about the
they had
mindset.
already looked and bought property. They had already put, was ready to buy the property.
Right.
That they saw all that. They wanted to put their building on and everything. Everything was done. It was ready to go. And when you have a multi-billion-dollar company that has interest in your city, do you understand that he's dealing with other multi-billion-dollar companies?
Right.
Am I correct?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So you look at $1 million ball player, his friends are $1 million ball players. You know what I mean? He was bringing his people with him, man. And it's like we were looking at, our taxes are going to go up a little bit. But they went up anyway. And we got nothing. Wow. You know what I'm saying? You got nothing for it. So it's not good when you see us look at someone that's our own and just give them complete hell, man. And they put the brother through. They called him names, this and that. The whole bit, it just wasn't a good look, and it left a bad taste in my mouth.
And guarantee you, he told the other millionaires and billionaires, you don't want to do business here. And how do you bring that back?
Yes.
How do you clean that up? How do you make that wrong a right? It's about the solutions and the relationships.
Yes.
And with associations with different people, let them know that we got a common ground. Okay, you made a mistake when you treated them like that. But now it's a new game in town. Let's talk about this. Let's find out where we did wrong so we can do things right.
Yes.
It's as simple as that. And you can do that in any part of government. If people want to be a leader, you're as good as the people in your community.
And you know what's crazy is the same people that were against that was okay with having a dump. Like, the mindset is like, I just don't understand it. Like, it just doesn't make any sense, bro. Mm-hmm. So, and now you see the guy that I was talking about, he's putting that dump there anyway. It's going. Mm-hmm. He done moved it over to the Egg Harbor Township side, and he's putting it there anyway.
Well, again, when it comes to planning and development, if you don't have a plan, you don't have a future. Mm. And most of the time management is money management. So if you're not managing the cities and government right, you're not managing your people.
Yes.
And your community.
Yes.
It ain't no shortcut to that. And so we have to really educate, ourselves and sharpen ourselves up to find out where the good talent is. Now, whether you like a person or not, if they have a talent to make things right, let's work together.
You gotta use them, man.
Let's work together.
That's what God put them there for.
And thank you. It's bigger than just them.
That's what God put them there for.
Yes. So there are solutions there. And it's right here. They just looking too far.
Yeah. Like they said, you hear that analogy where the guy's stuck in the water and, you done sent boats and everything by him. Like, where's God at, man? I done sent you boats and everything else.
Right.
You just let it go.
Let it go. Yeah.
So, we got to understand. We got to open our eyes, man.
Well, that's why, I believe in transparency.
Yes.
And besides council meeting and board of education meetings, there need to be community meetings, town hall meetings. Town hall means the town is having the meeting.
Yes.
Not the government.
Yes.
The town is having the meeting.
And when you say that, Steve, the meeting, it has to be understood. Just because we don't agree doesn't mean that you're my enemy. Right. Like, you don't have to sit there and yell and scream and want to, call somebody ungodly because I don't believe the way that you believe. You know what I mean?
Right.
Those are some of the things that continue to tear us apart, man. It continues to do that,
It's a whispering effect because they won't come to you and say it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They'll whisper it. Mm-hmm. And it's the whispering devil.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And we got to get beyond that, And the way we got to do that, man, we got to pray, but we got to get up off our knees and do something with our prayer.
Yes.
I mean, people say they pray morning, noon, and night. What do you do with the prayer? God don't want you to just sit there and talk to him. Get up and do something. Faith without works is nothing.
I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees, bro. You got to get up and fight, man. That's part
You have to. I mean, you have that talent for a reason.
Yeah.
If not, what are you doing with it? If you don't like your talent, give it to somebody else. You know what I mean? Give it to a child or give it to your dog. Just don't waste it. It's crazy, man. And we're tired of it, but things got to change, man. And I just see too much of it happening in our black communities.
Yes.
Because I'll be dealing with a lot of brothers throughout the country now.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the brother called last time we was here.
Yes.
Brother Emmanuel.
Mm-hmm.
And it's called the Voices of Organic Black Men. And they said, well, black men got together to do something for themselves and for their communities. So what's wrong with that? If we have a solution and a plan and an agenda, let us go with it.
Yes.
And if it's about holding people accountable that's in a position to do something, We're going to do that all over the country. So what happened, we were successful in doing it in New Jersey. Now, you know where we at now? In Atlanta. So everybody that wants to run for office for governor, guess who's running to talk to us? And we're gonna like interview them.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like we did with the candidates in New Jersey.
Yes.
We interviewed most of them that was running. And we're doing it in Atlanta now. So our first one is going to be on the 8th, and it's going to be by Zoom live. And we got it very organized and ready to go. Ask them questions and hold them accountable. Now everybody's seeing accountability.
Yes.
And it's grassroots questions, boots on the ground questions, and it's about our agenda for who? Our communities, not themselves, because you got to follow the money. Watch who give to these campaigns. Those are the ones that don't live here, them developers, man. Those are the ones that they listening to. We're not giving to their campaigns, but we're giving them our vote.
Because you know what's funny is some of these people, man, that run for these offices, they're good at making them promises, bro. They can talk a good game. As soon as they get there, that switch flips, man. No. And I don't know whether I heard it right today, but being that you're saying that, our governor-elect, what's her name?
Michael Shaw.
I just heard today that she's making a pitch to raise the taxes already. Like certain things, I didn't get it all. Someone said it to me, so I got to do my homework.
I just was letting you know it's a trickle-down effect. Well, if they cutting in D.C. and Washington, man. The state, they should have been.
Like, you haven't even gotten in there.
Phil Murphy
already.
could, he did things, he used money to do other things with, so he can run, so he would get the vote. You can't raise taxes and get a vote. Watch what happened in Atlantic City. No matter who's there, it's going to be a trickle-down effect. There's going to be layoffs. There's going to be increases. Yes. You're going to see it.
Yes.
I know people that was already trickled down, man. Private businesses had to lay off people that's been working for 20 years. This is real. It's a trickle-down effect. Even nonprofits are being here.
Yes.
It's real.
They're taking it from
everywhere. And there was so much fraud and waste in government that now you got to use what you got the right way, the way it's supposed to be used for those people, those have-nots that haven't. That's why the people at the bottom ain't raising no sand, because they ain't got none. They never got none. They never received it.
Yes.
So they saying, well, no, it's hurting you. It's not hurting me, because you was right there eating the crumbs off the table. We didn't even smell the bread. So you didn't share none of that. Now it's flipping. Yes. Now you want us to stand up for you so you can get some more crumbs. Ain't gonna happen. Our people woke up now and they're saying, no, you're gonna have to make the bread down here where we at, and this is where it stays. And we'll sprinkle you maybe some bread. It's a different day now.
Different day, man. That's good.
Community engagement, man. I love this.
Yes. Like the conversation. Yeah. All right, so I guess we're coming to the end of the show. Yes. I just want to say, I know next week I'm going to work on getting the sheriff to come in and have a conversation with the people.
Who's the sheriff now?
Up. Joe O'Donnell.
Who's
Tokyo
that?
Joe.
Who's he?
Tokyo Joe.
Who's he?
That's my older brother. Love him to death, man.
So well, we had him here before. He's a good guy.
A man who's done a lot in the community. While he was sheriff, I watched this man do so much with the people that he came in contact with. So,
and there's one major question that we probably want to ask him.
Yes.
I want him to get prepared for it, and that is that there's a lot of warrants out for even with child support, and male and female.
Yes.
Because everybody think that it's just males with child support. There's some females with child support.
Me and my wife know firsthand.
You know what I mean? so I'm saying that, locking them up and arresting them.
Yes.
Maybe may want to think about some community service.
Yes.
Or don't take them out. Don't take them off a job that they making $30. They making making $30 an hour. But if you come with a warrant and take them off the job, now they lost the job. And that's on their record. Where you worked there before? How long you stayed? Why did you leave?
Hey, man.
I got fired because I went to jail.
I know people that it was a revolving door because of child support.
It mostly happens in our community.
Crazy, yes. Yes.
But it has to be another way, and I just wanted to ask them that question. Is there a plan or something that we can come up as a community to help the family as well as the brother that's trying, or the mother that's trying to move ahead in life?
Yeah, well, he said he's looking forward to coming in, so we're definitely going to do that, and, we look forward to next week. I guess we're at the end of the show. This is Tony Davenport.
And Brother Steve Young.
Community Engagement, WEHA.
And we'll see you next week.
God bless you.